Hello. Hello. Anyone there? Hey, Ben, can you hear me? Or XP? Or anyone? Can anyone hear me? Hey, XP, Mudhog, Johnny B, Irv, good to see you, Irv. Stephen Givers. Woo, all right. Awesome. Hey, I'm curious. Where's everyone from? If you don't know, I'm from Kansas City, Kansas. I'm on the Kansas side. But I'm curious where everyone else is from. Da-da-da. I'll jump in. I'll start doing the regular stream here in a second, but while we're waiting, 3 more minutes until we go live. You hear me whistling? Good. What? Jeff, how can you not hear me? How can everyone else hear me? Ontario, Alabama, Edwardsville, Illinois. I've been to Edwardsville. We're in Missouri, shifting gears. We're in Missouri. I'm in the Kansas City area. Philippines. Wow. Cool. Pennsylvania, Virginia, Buffalo. Independence. You live here with me. Well, we got a bunch of people from my part of town. Independence, Washington. Where's Washington? Missouri. I don't know. Why did an ad play? I don't know. I don't control the algorithm. So, St. Louis area. What? Yeah, I guess my taskbar. I don't really think about it. I'm an ADD person, so I always have clutter. So my taskbar, I think, reflects it. Well, if you're in Independence, we're neighbors. Our shop is in KCK. And let's see here. And I live in Olathe. What time is it? It's almost 8. All right, guys. Well, I don't know how long of a stream this is going to be today. So I wanted to cover, I want to cover kind of 2 subjects. Plus, if you guys have anything that you guys want to talk about, it's fine. Man, this has been a very stressful week. So my son, we think has COVID. We're waiting to get the test back, but that's been super stressful. So I'm not wearing a mask right now, but I'm going around inside my house wearing a mask, hand sanitizing like crazy. What a world. And then the reason this got moved, the reason I had to move the stream from Thursday to Friday is I've been working on a monster bid, and it was due today at 5 o'clock. And so I was up late last night, late the night before. I had to work on for my real world business. So this has been a very super stressful week for me. So I don't know that it's going to be, we'll see how good of a stream it is. But I have a subject on my mind that I kind of want to talk about. And I do want to talk a little bit about some of the things that I mentioned I put out on the the notification for the stream. Let's see here. See if there's any questions. Washington. Hey, you ordered a Cybertruck 2 weeks ago. Super cool. My son he's an adult. Believe it or not, my son is also a streamer. But he's a Twitch streamer. He's a gamer. He plays Hearthstone. So anyway, yeah, he's your classic basement dweller. But he's super cool. Anyway, lawn care and snow. Yeah, Rob. So I wanted to talk about this. I'm not sure if any of you guys saw this video from Sandy Monroe about the joystick, or if you guys have actually, I don't know how many of you have actually seen the video that I did on my theory that the Cybertruck will actually be able to do something like the tank turn of the Rivian. But one of the things that I talked about in that video is how advantageous it would be to actually have a joystick alternative. And at the time, I just thought, it's never going to go anywhere. But just as last week, Sandy Monroe did this video on putting joysticks inside of electric vehicles. And the reason why I wanted to touch on this is that if you haven't had a vehicle, if you've never driven a vehicle that uses joysticks, then you don't appreciate how much more intuitive it is, in my opinion, to drive a vehicle using a joystick than it is to use a steering wheel. So if you guys have ever gamed before using the dual pad controller, skid steer machines, Bobcats, if you know what a Bobcat is, all the new skid steer machines use tandem joystick controllers. So you essentially sit inside the cab and you have two joysticks. So one joystick controls the bucket. So it raises and lowers the buckets and it tips it forwards and backwards. But your right joystick, generally, different skid steers have different configurations. But your right joystick, you control all the movement of the vehicle. So you push forward, the vehicle goes forward. You tilt it to the left, the vehicle veers off to the left. It's so much more intuitive than using a steering wheel. We don't think of it. We think of a steering wheel as being intuitive because we're used to it. But a joystick is much easier to give instructions to through in a three-dimensional plane than a steering wheel, because you have to, if you don't use so you don't have a forward and a reverse with a skid steer. You just pull the joystick back and you go backwards. If you want to go backwards and tilt to the right, you just pull the joystick to the right like this, and the skid steer just gradually backs up that way. There is absolutely no reason except prior convention that we're using steering wheels, except for we're used to it. It's, we've had steering wheels because we needed to physically control the wheels. But now with the new control systems, there's no reason we can't use drive-by-wire. Exactly what they use in an airplane. There is zero reason we can do it. And it would make controlling a truck, especially slow speed, truck maneuvering, so much easier to use a joystick. So I just wanted to mention it because I was stunned to be watching Sandy's video, and all of a sudden he's talking about this idea I had that I thought like nobody had or no one thought about. So it makes me encouraged to think that potentially we could use a joystick. So the other thing is that the thing about a joystick is that it's controllable from either seat. So the reason he recommended it is that you can sit on the left or the right side and control it, depending on if you're left or right-handed. It's super easy to switch. So, let's see. I do back up. You back up all the time. That's what I'm saying. You back up, Dave. So, I wish I could put you inside of a skid steer machine, a Bobcat. All you do is you pull back and you back up. It's super simple. It's super simple. It's not a steep learning curve if you've played a video game before. Oh, okay. So here's the thing with drive-by-wire. You don't have to be limited to one control type. It's just like a computer. You have a mouse, you have a touchpad, you can get a joystick, you have a keyboard. You don't have to limit. You can get a steering wheel, right? For like driving games. It doesn't matter because what you're not interacting with the physical surface. You're interacting with a computer. You're interacting with a digital surface. So the point isn't necessarily that the joystick is the way to go. The point is drive-by-wire is the way to go, and then we should be able to pick the control system we want to use. You want to use a steering wheel? Fine, use a steering wheel. But you can use a joystick, no problem. Anything that lets you control the movement of the vehicle through 3 dimensions is available to use. Anyway, I only brought it up because I thought it was really interesting. The subject that I'm super interested in and I want to talk about tonight the most is this whole idea of Elon Musk taking the Cybertruck. Well, I don't know if Elon Musk is going to do it. Probably he won't. Probably someone else. But they're talking about doing a cross-country tour with the Cybertruck. So what that made me think about was the times that I've been able to do cross-country tours with either my adventure motorcycle or with a four-wheel drive vehicle. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this. So they're talking about doing a cross-country tour with the Cybertruck. Now, I don't have much of a presence on Twitter, but one of the things I want them to do is I would really like them to take the Cybertruck off-road. Like, if you're going to do this cross-country tour, do some of it off-road. So I want to show you, this is the tool that I use to plan my motorcycle trips. And this is called Ride with GPS. And why I like this is if you go into Google and you type out go from point A to point B, it's just going to give you the fastest route. Okay? So the advantage of using a piece of software like this is you can actually plan out a route. I only brought this up here so I could show you what would be a potentially interesting route. But what I really wanted to do is I wanted to show you this. So this is, well, what happened? Where did it go? Where did my, oh, hold on, I guess I gotta make it smaller. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk a little bit about why, instead of me talking about going off-roading and adventure travel, what I wanted to do is I wanted to actually show you guys what some of the cool features are that they could travel through. And I did, it took me I did this in 30 minutes. This is the best off-road or off-pavement traveling that you can do. But I just wanted to show you, this is a website called Trails Off-Road. They have a free version if you want to get the detail, all these pictures that you see here on the screen. Then what you have to do is you have to pay for the premium. But you can get into you can look at the maps. So let me show you their map section here. So you can, they have trails, and this is growing all the time. They have trails all over the United States that you can go on. And what's cool about this particular software is the green is easy, the yellow is moderately challenging, and the red is really, really difficult. But the point of this, I don't care whether you use their software or not, but the point of this is that you can, anywhere you live, you can ride on some amazing trails. The reason I like off-roading is not just for the purpose of going off-road. It's because you get to ride in places that are amazing. You get to be Look, if you've ever gone camping, let me see here. Let's see if this shows up here. Bandwidth. Okay. What I want to explain is when you normally go camping, you go to a state park, you go to a national park, you go to whatever, it's crowded. There's a bunch of people around. You feel like it's cool, but you don't get to be out in the legitimate wilderness. But when you do off-pavement travel, you get to see things. You get to go places where you might be the only vehicle that you see for a day, or an hour, or 2 hours, or 5 hours. You get to go to the most amazing places, and you get to see the most amazing things. It's not just like high-speed off-roading. It's not just rock crawling. I mean, look at this. This is, you get to see things that 99.9% of the people that live around you never get to see. And that exists everywhere you go. This is California. Okay, so here's what I want to point out. I didn't spend much time pulling these. I just jumped onto the site. I clicked on a couple of things. I've never been on this trail before. I've never been here. I've never been in this place ever. My point is, these kind of things, they're everywhere in the United States. They're everywhere in South America. They're 99% of the world's roads are not paved. They're places where you can go, where you can see amazing things most people will never see. And you want to know what's amazing about this? It doesn't cost anything. There's no entrance fee. There's no camping fee. There's nothing. The only thing that sucks about camping in these places is you got to bring all your own water. You got to have your own power. You got to have your own setup. It's perfect for the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is the most perfect adventure vehicle ever. Okay, so this is just, I randomly grabbed this from California. Here is, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Arizona. Here's Arizona. Okay, so let's, I know you guys can't probably hear that. You know, when you think about Arizona, oh yeah, this is the other thing. Okay, you see how there's all kinds of interesting features. There's history. It's quiet, it's still, it's massive, it's awesome, it's remote, and the only way you can get to these places is if you have a vehicle that's capable of going off-road. What's going on here? What's happening? I don't even know what's going on. Why is my email popping up? That's hilarious. What happened to my browser? It crashed. I crashed the browser. Oh man, that sucks. What happened? Guys, every time I try and do a video, every time I try and prep, my computer has never done that before. Who knows? All I'm trying to say is that look at all these trails. And one thing I was going to show you is here in my neck of the woods. I can't remember, but I don't remember last year if there were even trails in here. But this is, so I live up here, Kansas City, and my closest place to go off-roading is down here. Now, I know from experience, this whole area is full of trails, adventure riding trails. It's just that they haven't gotten around to filling in all the different trails that you can ride on out here. It's the same thing everywhere you see all this green area. These are all chock full of incredible off-road adventure experiences. The thing is that the Cybertruck is free. All you got to do, you get in it, you go, you pay whatever, this software that I pay for Trails Off-Road, it's $25 a year. And you can be in an amazing place, experiencing an amazing adventure with an amazing vehicle for like $5, $10. It's just absolutely incredible. So the thing that I was thinking about with the cross-country tour is why they need to go through some of these trails. It's not appropriate for the Cybertruck to just take a road trip. What I want to see is I want to see it off-roading in some of these trails. All right. Yeah, okay. Da-da-da-da. Ba-ba-ba. All right. Tonight's stream is not going to be a long stream because I got busy in the real world. So let's see here. That was the main thing I want to talk about. The last thing I was going to just talk about is China, Cybertruck in China. And if you guys have any things that you want me to talk about, go ahead and put it up here. The thing that they just released this week, that they opened up reservations for Cybertruck sales in China. And the reason I think that is very interesting is I don't think it's going to take them very long to take in a factory like Shanghai and upfit it to start producing Cybertrucks. So I've said this before, but the Cybertruck, the construction process of the Cybertruck, if you've seen the Hacksmith videos on their little half-scale Cybertruck out pulling the F-150, the fact that they could build an exterior replica of the Cybertruck in like 30 or 40 days speaks to the simplicity of building the Cybertruck. I think we're going to see, they just announced that the Austin, there's a school district in Austin that needed to approve the Cybertruck plant. And they just announced that they approved that. There's one more hurdle with the county to approve the Austin plant for the Cybertruck. I think what's going to happen is we're going to see, I think it's possible. It's possible that they could start building the Cybertruck in China about the same time they start building the Cybertruck in the United States. Because, getting back to the Hacksmith video, they built the frame with like tools you can buy from Harbor Freight. It was insane. Obviously the thing that's difficult about the Cybertruck is going to be the stuff that they have to what's the word for it? Where they have to press it. They have to press parts of the frame. But as far as the exterior of the Cybertruck, it's not going to be difficult. I think a lot of people are thinking it's going to take a long time for them to ramp the Cybertruck. I do not think it is. And so let me complete the circle there. I think the reason that they started letting China reserve the Cybertruck is specifically because it's not going to take that much energy to build the Cybertruck in China. It's not going to take the kind of industrial presses and the paint booth and all the other stuff that they have to do to build the Model 3 and the Model Y. I think we could be seeing scale production of the Cybertruck by the end of next year in both US and China. Based on everything that Sandy Monroe says and the fact that they've made the Cybertruck able to be reserved in China already, makes me think it's not going to be that hard. We're going to start seeing massive Cybertruck deliveries way faster than we've seen for other vehicles. So that's about all that I had on the top of my brain. Let's see. Do you guys have anything? Otherwise, I don't have anything else to really talk about today. Brian, we do landscaping in the summer. Landscape construction and landscape maintenance, mowing, blah, blah, blah. Arizona, cool. All right, does the app cover Canada? Let's look. I'm pretty sure it does because there's some really cool stuff up in Banff. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, unless it's an extra subscription. Well, yep, there you go. It doesn't. Doesn't cover Canada. That's a shocker. What? You can't buy tires locally for Tesla? All right, let's see. Any other questions? I'm not going to linger on here if there's nothing interesting to talk about. All right. Going once, going twice. Anyone have any questions other than that? We're going to make this. This is going to be a short. I'll try and have more stuff to talk about next week. But like I said, this has been a brutal week for me personally. So, yeah, I know there's lots of trails. My point in all this is that there are a ton of trails, and most of them don't show up on a map like this. So, all right, guys. Well, I don't have anything else to talk about tonight. You're going to see a more conventional video from me coming out this week. I'm going to be talking about, well, anyway, hopefully, assuming my work schedule allows it, but we're going to do maybe a more old-fashioned Cybertruck truck guy video coming out this week. I'm probably going to do it from inside my truck. Haven't done one of those in a while. All right. All right. Well, that's it. We're gonna call this a wrap. Hey, thanks for checking in, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.